Okay guys, moving into episode 9, what I want to call market phases. So I'm going to use US dollar JPY as an example weekly chart of market phases. So you can see we've got this strong support here at 100,756, and for me I'd say we've got this resistance here at 103,440. So let's just have a look at price. So right now this price here is what I'd call consolidation, yeah. So this is consolidation for me. Let's put this in gray. There's nothing happening right now. This is a consolidation slash accumulation. Let's have a watch at what price does. We've got that breakout. So at this moment now, you can see price has now had a bullish breakout. Yeah, so we're gonna do this as green. This is all gonna make sense. So now we've got our bullish breakout. The market is now trending. So we're gonna watch the characteristics. So you see now the market is now trending. We had a pullback, and you can see the market ended up rallying. So the reason why I tie in again, for me, this isn't support and resistance. This is just a natural pullback in the market. This is a natural correction. It's not a support and resistance. It's not a. So that's why I'm tying on from the last video. So that's our consolidation phase. We've grown our bullish breakouts. Right now we're going bullish. Let's have a look at price. We're still going bullish. We seem to have reached a little bit of resistance. Now let's have a look at what markets are doing. Okay, so we can see what the markets are doing now. So what does that look like? We had a little pause in the market. So again, for me, I'd say at that moment there, that was another, I'd say, consolidation stage. So we had this support, we had this resistance, and price was consolidating. So again, we had another consolidation. Let's have a further look at price. Had a strong little wick back down there. Let's have a continuation look. Price is now back into this area. So for me, this is now starting to form what I would say now a larger area of consolidation. I still believe this UJ right now, we're in a large area of consolidation. So I'd expand this. So again, not support and resistance. This is just a market phase of consolidation. Price is now going sideways. They're not trending anymore. So you can see how we've gone consolidation, breakout, we started trending. Now we look like we're in a massive form of consolidation again. Let's keep watching. That consolidation is met with what? This time we can see we have a bearish breakout. Yeah, so we've got a bearish breakout now, which is obviously going to be in red. So now, typically speaking, we should see price return back to that origin of consolidation where the move started from. So we see, what do we see? Now we're in a bearish market, and then we head right back down. So those are the three market phases. You're either in a bullish market, you're either consolidating slash range bound, you're either in a bullish market, you're either consolidating slash range bound, or you're in a bearish market. Those are the three market phases. So that's why I say, for me, support and resistance is only valid when I'm in a consolidation market. That's the only time where I'm looking to have valid support or resistance, or I'm going to start to apply the standard thought of support and resistance as highs and lows, highs and lows. So let's have another look at what price does. So we start to break again. So right now this consolidation level's holding. What are we doing again? Another form of consolidation. Then we've got that breakout. So the market straight away reacts back up. We have that consolidation. We broke out straight back into a very similar area. So let's just take this replay off and just have a look at how markets ended up doing. So that for me is a perfect example of how price moves. Consolidation, bullish, consolidation, bearish, another consolidation, bullish. And then since then, price hasn't really been trending well. So let's look at US dollar CAD. So obviously this is a chart that mapped out. So we can see here in the forms of higher highs and higher lows. So right now you can see we're in an overall bullish market phase. So we're going bullish, consolidating. So you can see bullish, consolidating, and then we're pulling back. So bullish, consolidating, bearish. We're going bullish again, no consolidation that time, we just pulled back. We've gone bullish again, no consolidation this time, we've just started to trade lower. We've gone bullish again. So throughout this now, you're seeing different market phases. So you need to understand. So this is the weekly chart. So you need to understand that we're seeing throughout this time, when you go down, let's go down into our daily now. And let's look at how this looks, so more zoomed out. So in here, you can notice there is no support and resistance, so to speak. Market is just trending bullish. We're moving up, a little bit of consolidation. We've moved up until we ran into that consolidation market phase. That's where now support and resistance is going to be valid. Then you see we've gone bearish, dropped down, no real support or resistance, we're just dropping. We've gone bullish, no real support and resistance, we just rallied. Then we dropped, then we rally, slowly pulled back, no real, I'd say, support and resistance. Then we had a prolonged rally, a pullback, and then you see structure shifts. So let me explain what I mean by the market phases, and also how to know where structure is going to shift, or how to know the signs when structure shift. So when we see here, so we've got higher highs and higher lows. So this for me is showing us we're in a bullish market. We're having natural corrections, but overall we're in a bullish market. So because it is the weekly chart, you can obviously be trading what I'd say is not really a counter trend, but you could be selling and buying these fluctuations. But by the looks of US dollar CAD now for this market phase, which is bullish, this higher low here which we have, we should have now seen price make a higher high to stay in alignment with this bullish market phase. But we didn't get that. We got price which made a lower high. So for me now, that's your red flag. That's potentially price is starting to shift. Then we see markets now make a new low. So for me now, that is now confirmed. This is now turned into a bearish market. When we see price come up here now, what do we see? Another lower high. We did have this short term, for me, higher low here, but our overall structure now, because of this change in structure, which now where you can obviously apply, for example, channels and things I'm going to move into. But now you see we've gone from bullish to now we've potentially gone bearish. I still tried to get in the market because of this area of support. So the reason why I'm using this as an actual area of support is because depending on your view, how you want to look at this, US dollar CAD is possibly in a range. So you can see we've got a low and we've got a high that is staying, and price is bouncing between the two. So for me, this is a valid area of support. So do you understand how this is just a larger version of what I'm saying here? So now you can see we're actually breaking out. But because we've done this lower high region here across, for me now, I'm now expecting, or I'm now looking at this as corrective structure. So I'm now looking at it like this, where this is CAD now just having a natural corrective structure as we turn into a bearish market. And now what we should see happen is price continues to drop. So we should see price, say, continue to drop a little bit lower. So let's have a look. So we should be seeing price now start to portray this kind of price action. So we're going to see a drop lower, which now gives you that low, that lower low, that lower high, that lower low. See, now you see the way structure and all the market phases tie in. So the support and resistance will tie in with that structure. So it's you have to look at the higher time frames when you want to know what structure or market phase you're in, and then you have to act on the smaller time frames accordingly. So now that I'm in the daily chart, which again is going to start to come into your entry time frames, you can see the way the market phase is clear. Understand we're consolidating, we're in a bearish market, we're in a bullish market, we're in a bearish market, and then you can trade that. But here you see US dollar CAD entered a range market, but because we failed to make that higher high, around this area here, that's what now lets you know markets are potentially topping out. So we had that resistance at 1.35. We had the support around 1.31, which is now that monthly range. And this is also your last higher low. That's why this area is important, because this break of this area invalidates the overall bullish structure, which you've already seen cause for concern here when we're talking about price reversing. When we apply our fib, we can see now we had a 61.8 into our reversal zone, which shows you now CAD is downside, and that will come to 128.6, which is basically what I just showed you in the ghost pattern, the add-on, where we're going to see price sell off, pull back up, sell off, pull back up, as now we change into a bearish market. So that's how you need to keep approaching the market when you're looking at things, and when you're studying how markets move. You need to learn how each market phase changes from bullish market to a bearish market, and also how you can trade the movements in between. And the only way you can do that is by knowing what market phase you're in. So now I'm gonna, in the next episode, introduce what I'd call more technical analysis now, because I feel like you fully would understand structure in the forms of like channels and trend lines, and also potential chart patterns, which could increase the probability of where and when the markets will change direction. So stay tuned for the next episode.